All right, let's dive into Leviticus chapter 10. I know what you might be thinking. Leviticus can feel a little dense, but trust me, this story is absolutely packed with drama, tragedy, and a surprising twist of mercy that you won't see coming. So let's start with a big question. What happens when a sacred rule is broken? I mean, a really important one. Well, this 3,000-year-old story doesn't just ponder the question in the abstract. Oh no, it shows us. And the answer is both shocking and incredibly human.
Okay, so picture this. It's supposed to be a huge moment of celebration. Ancient Israel's very first priests have just been officially consecrated. The party's just getting started, but things are about to go horribly, horribly wrong.
At the center of it all are two guys, Nadab and Abihu. And they're not just anybody. They are the sons of the high priest Aaron. And for some reason, maybe they got carried away in the moment, they decide to improvise. They're going to make their own offering to God, completely off script.
Now, they start off looking like they know what they're doing. They take their official censers, they put the fire in, they add the incense. But then they make a fatal mistake. They offer what the text calls strange fire. We don't know exactly what that was, maybe fire from an unauthorized source, but the key point is it was something God had specifically commanded them not to do.
The consequence is immediate, and it is absolutely terrifying. Fire comes directly from God and consumes them. They die right there, on the spot. It's a jaw-dropping moment that makes it crystal clear just how high the stakes are when dealing with the holy. As his brother Aaron is reeling from this unspeakable tragedy, Moses steps in to explain what just happened. The message from God is stark. I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me. In other words, if you're going to be close to God, like the priests are, you're held to a completely different standard. There is zero room for error. Now, you might think that's the most shocking part of the story, but what comes next is, in its own way, even more jarring. The focus shifts from the divine punishment to the human response. Specifically, how Aaron and his two remaining sons are told to handle their grief. Think about the normal ways people mourn, right? Tearing clothes, showing public grief. Well, Aaron and his sons, Eleazar and Ithamar, are forbidden from doing any of it. They can't even leave the sanctuary. Their sacred duty as priests completely overrides their private sorrow as a father and as brothers. And why such a seemingly harsh rule? The text gives a very specific reason. For the anointing oil of the Lord is upon you. That oil has set them apart for God's service. Their public role as representatives for the entire community now takes precedence over even the most profound personal tragedy. You see, this tragic event isn't just meant to be a terrifying warning. It actually becomes a catalyst for a whole new set of rules for the priesthood moving forward. A series of new commands are given directly to Aaron. They're all designed to prevent a disaster like this from ever happening again. They include a ban on drinking wine or strong drink while on duty, a command to teach the people God's laws, and specific instructions on how to handle holy offerings. Okay, so let's pause on that ban on alcohol for a second. Why that rule specifically? Well, many have speculated that maybe Nadab and Abihu were intoxicated when they made their mistake. But the text itself points to a more direct reason, and it's tied to their most important job. See, the ban isn't arbitrary. It's there to make sure the priests always have clear, unimpaired judgment. Their primary role is to distinguish and to teach the people how to distinguish between what is holy and unholy, what is clean and unclean. You just can't do that if your senses are dulled. So you'd think the crisis is over, right? New rules are in place, lessons have been learned, but nope, the tension is about to spike again. Moses discovers another potential rule violation, and this time he is furious. He finds out that the goat that was meant for a specific sin offering ritual wasn't handled correctly. The law was clear. The priests were supposed to eat a portion of this offering inside the holy place, but instead, they'd burned the whole thing up. So Moses goes straight to Aaron's remaining sons, Eleazar and Ithamar, and you can just feel his anger. He basically demands to know why they disobeyed a direct command. This ritual was important. It was meant to help bear the iniquity of the congregation. But it's not the terrified sons who answer. It's their father. After a day of unimaginable loss and strict commands, the high priest Aaron finally breaks his silence to answer for his family. And this This is the stunning turning point of the entire story. Aaron doesn't make an excuse. He asks a question, and it's rooted in his grief. He basically says, Moses, after what just happened to me today, after watching my sons die, if I had forced myself to eat that holy meal in my sorrow, would God have really found that acceptable?
And in an incredible reversal, Moses, the ultimate enforcer of the law, hears this raw, emotional, and deeply spiritual plea, and he accepts it. The text just says he was content. The rule was broken, yes, but the reason, the human context, mattered more.
So what do we take away from this ancient drama? Well, it starts with an absolute, unbending law where actions have severe consequences. But it ends with this profound moment of compassion, a recognition that human context, intent, and the reality of grief, they matter, even in the face of the holy. And that leaves us with a timeless question, doesn't it? When does following the letter of the law get in the way of its spirit? It's that tension between rules and relationships, between protocol and compassion, that we're all still trying to figure out today.